Happy Friday, people.
Oh, thank God we made it to the afternoon.
I know.
I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, Dr. Andrea Mata, right? Yeah.
Yep, you got it.
There you go. So I'm laughing only because I just asked you moments ago how to pronounce your name. And, you know, it's funny because I don't do this. I'm learning as we have more interviews. I'm like, I shouldn't probably ask about their name when we're actually already on the air. So maybe take a quarter of a second. So much of what we do here, though, is impromptu and sort of really organic. And I just, it seems like counterintuitive to practice or plan too much.
Somebody said it was a barstool conversation, and I went, yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm all right with that. Yeah, this is not a scholarly endeavor wholeheartedly, but we want to talk about something that has some actual meaning. Hey, Matt, while we're at it, is my mic still hot?
Yeah. Tom had the wrong input or something on the last show. I was like driving me crazy all day.
No, I was literally breathing that heavily.
Yeah.
Sorry, Doc.
So thank you, Doc, for coming on today. This has been, we love having conversations about everything. And like yours is one we don't get a chance to really talk about too much. And, you know, not so secretly, in my next life, I'm going to be a psychiatrist. I love psychology, is like fucking fascinating to me.
Yeah.
It's super cool. You know,
I agree.
We're complex weirdos, aren't we? Like we're just...
Well, that's the thing. Like when I used to be a college professor and I taught clinical psychology, I would tell everyone, I was like, look, I can't just tell, like, people are not robots. So it's not like you have problem A, you look at the manual and you like use solution A to like solve the problem. Like they're complex. There's lots going on. Things change from day to day.
Yeah.
Like you have to be able to kind of, this is because they would always bitch and moan about like theories, like because I would force them to learn theories so that they could take it and then like use the information and then like roll with it. And I'm like, look, you need to know like theories so that you can take in the information that they're giving you. You can kind of analyze it, synopsis, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Synthesize it in your mind. And then you have to be able to say something relatively quickly that's meaningful, that's going to advance your client down their path towards their goals. And they're like,
the kind of the nuance of practice.
And it's funny, when I first started doing martial arts years and years ago, right? Like, you know, you're, and this is a classic white belt situation where you're like, I want to learn all the punches. Like I want to learn all the kicks, right? Like, and it's all about like very specific, like, wait, did I rotate too much? It was like too much extension. And you're like worried about like all these little nuanced things. By the time you get to like you've been training decades, right? You don't even notice that you're doing a punch anymore. It's not even part of the thought process. You're just reacting to an environment. That's it. Like there is no, but if I didn't know that rotating too much was good or bad or whatever, like I wouldn't have been able to pattern that at the depth that it's patterned now. Like now, you know, my son and I fuck around all the time where he's like tries to get a punch in on me. I'm like literally almost having a cup of coffee while my hand just knows what to do. Like, you know, and it's funny to watch because I'm like, when did I ever learn that? Like, I don't, you know,
and I'm always like, I'll eat one or two. I'll let you get one or two. Like, go ahead, hit me once or twice.
Yeah. But
I'll use that for feedback.
Who was it that recently just said when they were an apprentice, they made them learn all the stuff over and over again? And then once they got to a certain level, they're like, now forget everything I said and now just respond. Like, you know, somebody just said this and I was like, was this the shaman? Might have been the shaman guy. Yeah. Where you basically like learn all the stuff, like figure out, because you don't want to waste time relearning shit people have already gotten out of the way. Like we already figured that out. We don't have to waste time doing that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what, are you still in professorship or what, are you still professor? Mata?
So I resigned from a job I could never be fired from back in 2021 to go into private practice full time.
That seems like being a daredevil right there.
Yeah.
That is. Yeah. It was.
Was it that bad?
No. So the whole thing behind it was, do you guys know who Dave Ramsey is?
I do not.
So
Why
Dave
do I know this
Ramsey,
name?
I'm going to look him up right now.
He's a
though.
big guy. Like he's a guy
He's
that
not
gets
the
people out of debt.
chef that yells at people. No.
No. He's
Oh
not
no.
the chef that
Okay.
yells at people. He's the guy. Like he yells at people to like get out of debt and like cut up their credit cards.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Ah.
Oh yeah, I see this sell real estate, all this stuff. Yeah, is this him?
Yeah. So I was in the running to be his marriage and parenting personality as I was still a professor. And I remember when I was in the running to kind of get that job, one of the senior VPs looked at me and they're like, hey, you could have a much bigger impact and make a heck of a lot more money not being a college professor than like not being a college professor.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh, okay. And then the university was making some decisions that like I just didn't agree with. Like, let's build a $20 million building, but it only has 6 classrooms, but we need more classroom space. And I'm like, but how is like a student res life open atrium going to like help people like learn and like equip them for meaningful lives and productive careers? And they're like, oh, because then we'll get more students. And I'm like, but do we want more students? Like, what is going on?
Right.
And
what
so
problem
then
are we
it
trying
was
to
like,
solve exactly?
Exactly. And so then I was like, you know what? I'm done. So I went into private practice and now I'm a speaker and an author and all of the things.
Yeah. That's
so
cool.
It's always funny because I think that speaker, I too am in private practice. And the speaker route, writing the books, going out and sharing your knowledge is really the way, one, to amplify your message, two, to actually make money.
Yes.
Yeah.
I haven't figured out how to monetize anything I do yet, but it's coming.
Yeah.
funny.
So I just joined a speakers bureau recently, and it was funny because I had a therapy session with someone who else is like an academic, and they were like talking about things, and they're like, I was kind of giving suggestions from like my experience as being an entrepreneur, and they're like, well, what like with the speakers bureau? And I was like, oh, well, like this is what they're gonna like kind of price it at, and like I'll get this much. And they're like, what? They're like, you can get that much speaking? And I'm like, that's like small.
Yeah.
Like you can make like a lot more money if you're like a big speaker, like, Tony Robbins or something like that.
Sure.
Oh yeah, easily.
Yeah.
Like 500 grand, I think is his speaker rate right now.
Which is crazy.
Which is more than Obama gets.
Is it
Is
really?
that crazy?
Yeah. One of my neighbors won a Nobel Prize. I don't think he has to work anymore. He just goes around talking about how smart he is. Like it's like it's kind of cool.
Funny, I got some neighbors that do that, and they don't have a Nobel Prize.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
and it's very clear they're the only ones that thinks they're that smart.
No, I love it though, because imagine. What I like about that story is this guy was no more smart after the prize than he was before, but the prize somehow validated it enough where now he can just go share that with people, like that
it's
knowledge.
Authority.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, and I think that's
he legitimized him.
Yeah, which is super cool, in general. And I think that's part of I guess it's the blessing and the curse of the internet, right? Like you don't have to have won a Nobel Prize to go out and be a popular speaker, which is to say the shit you're saying doesn't always have to be right or smart.
Well, or the other thing is it's like how a book can legitimize you so that like you can ask for like $150,000 speaking fee and be a terrible speaker.
Yeah.
Like, I know that there's an author that has a very, very popular book. His speaking fee is $150,000.
And you're like,
and
wow.
He's a terrible speaker because he literally just regurgitates the book.
When we hit stop, you got to tell us who that is. We'll sign an NDA. We don't care. I want to know who that is, and I will follow his fucking blueprint.
Yeah. It is funny though, because I paid hundreds of dollars to have a lesson, a musical instrument lesson with a professional world-class musician, and it was over the course of like a week. And I was so excited. I'm like, I'm going to learn all this shit. He was fucking the worst teacher like I've ever seen in my life, but he was fucking amazing at playing music. And I got to sit a foot from him. So I was like, very rapidly, you're like, all right, I got to change my metric. My KPI here is no longer, I'm going to get valuable instruction. Now I'm going to have to change it to like, I just have to ask good questions about something he just did. Hey, can you pause and show me what you just did there? Like, can we walk through that? Because that he can do.
Yeah.
Like he was perfect at that. But like as a teacher, I'm like, I just paid you a lot. And I if I wouldn't have been proactive enthusiast on this conversation, I would have gotten nothing. like it would have been not in a bad way. He's a sweetheart of a guy, great musician, but like I could listen to you on
I also
Spotify.
feel like that is something that when you God, I'm going to say something super nerdy. All your stats can't be maxed out. You know what I'm saying? So he's got so much invested, all those skill points in the musician category that the actually transmitting that information is probably not as high. And it's nothing against him.
No.
It's just that,
He's just an
like
expert.
you said, you changed to questioning. And now he's like, oh, yeah, you do this. You know,
I think my grandparents said God doesn't give with both hands. You're like, you know, anyway. So what I got to ask you this. I saw this on your LinkedIn and I'm just curious, what is gentle parenting? I love this because I think we've made fun of the same thing for a long time, maybe perhaps erroneously.
I think this is where Matt and I are decidedly Gen Xer too.
Yeah, right. Yeah. If you want to see my ex come out, this is it.
Believe me, I've had some therapy sessions where they're like, you can't say that to your daughter.
Yeah.
She needs to harden the fuck up.
Yeah. Even my 17-year-old son will say to my daughter, man up. And I'm like, I'm like, I hear where you're going with this. And I think I kind of agree with you, but I'm not sure I'm allowed to say those things anymore. Right.
I mean, you can say them in your own home. Like, you can say whatever you want.
Right. But like, is this the most motivational path? Right. Like, you know.
Well, I mean, yeah, it depends. It depends on your kid. It depends on lots of things. But gentle parenting, so I've been saying since the beginning of 2024 that like gentle parenting doesn't work because it's been around for about 15 to 20 years.
So can we put some boundaries on what this means first, just so we can have a definition to work from? What is like, how do we contextualize gentle parenting?
So I usually say gentle parenting has like 3 premises. The first one is we're going to focus on emotions above everything else.
Okay.
So we're going to validate emotions and feelings. Those are the most important things. Number 2 is we're going to avoid using punishments and rewards.
Okay.
Because it doesn't get at internal motivation or doesn't allow for internal motivation. And then the third one is we're going to treat our children as if they are our partner.
Okay. Got it. So
that just got worse and worse for me, Doc.
Yeah, like we were on a downhill slide there the whole time. I'm not going to lie to you, Doc. Like I was like, I hate that. I hate that more, and I hate that a lot.
I honestly, like a spousal partner, or like Matt going like, hey, you can't fucking roll your eyes on camera. Is that like what are we talking about on that last one? Because that last one is weird
ask
to
them,
me.
like their decision. Like we're gonna be like, hey, what do you think about this? Like, what do you want to do? Oh, okay, that's what you want to do. Okay, let's go and do that. Even though it might not be in their best interest, but they rule the house. So like if you think about hierarchies, like family hierarchies, where like the parents are supposed to be at the top and then the kids are supposed to be below, and like it's the parents dictating to the kids what's going to happen. Now it's everyone is on equal playing field. And
now what's our premise here?
Who the fuck came up with it? Sorry.
Yeah. Who decided this was a good idea?
Like I didn't live in a very strict household, but god damn it, I didn't fuck around either.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. So like what happened was Gen X and millennials were parented predominantly using like what I call militant parenting, like my way or the highway. So people didn't feel seen. They didn't feel heard. They didn't feel understood. And so they're like, okay, now I don't want to parent like that. We're going to swing completely to the opposite end. And we're going to develop this new parenting style called gentle parenting. And we're going to have these kind of premises to it. So that our kids feel loved and feeling.
Right. It was just a rebellion,
like an overcorrection almost, right?
Yes. It's a very much an overcorrection, because what happened was they completely missed this middle ground of authoritative parenting that's beautiful, that like creates positive developmental outcomes. And we just swung the complete opposite way.
Now, do we do that? I mean, we do that in everything, to be fair. Like everything humans do by default is just rebounding from one side of an extreme to the other. Like we don't know how to exist in the middle. So it would be kind of weird if this somehow was the one thing in our evolution that we did get
And
into
wait,
the middle.
is it our generations doing it then?
Yeah, it's Gen X and millennials.
Oh,
Yeah,
fuck.
we're the fucking cause. Yeah.
Which one of my motherfucking? Oh no, I have friends. No, I know their kids are assholes.
Yeah,
Exactly. That's like the big that's the turning point. Like if their kids are assholes, chances are they probably did gentle parenting.
I just lost a bunch of friends if they listen to this episode. like there's gonna be like a lot of like,
you know who you are. Don't. If you're listening to this, you know who I'm talking about. Yeah. So that's interesting. And like, look, I'm over the top geeky excited to talk to you about this because there's so much of what you're saying that like I have enunciated for years. But one thing I have enunciated to my kids, I said, listen, maybe the time that this straightens out is when you get to work someday, because like generational differences aside, the owner of a company is going to be the dude who outworked the dudes next to them, right? Like, period. Like that's just never going to change because like that's how business works, right? If two people start the same idea in the same garage at the same time, the one who outworks the other one generally, and people could say luck, you know what luck is? It's manufactured hard work, like in most cases, right? Like,
well, and then sometimes it's, having a family that has a lot of money and
okay, but those are edge cases.
But I think this is funny, and this kind of comes down to, Matt and I have spoken about this before. Both of us are in Baltimore, Maryland. The school district has due dates, but then they go, we're going to give you more time. Oh, you didn't? I got an email today. My older one, who's going to get screamed at when she gets home, and fuck you if you think that's not gentle parenting. She has 6. She has 6 out, and that was to like everybody. Not to you two particularly.
General, proclamation.
Like you have a fucking 10 question Spanish worksheet that you haven't handed in yet. Well, I'll get it done. No. Tuesday. Last Tuesday was when it was due.
Yeah.
Well,
but I can redo it.
But I can redo it. And the teacher's cool. Your boss won't be. Right. Oh, Dad, I had a lot of stuff going on and I wasn't really in the mood.
And I had to watch TikTok.
Yeah. Which drives me crazy, by the way, when I'm like, I come home and my daughter's on the couch and she's like, but I just got home. I'm like, yeah, I don't care if you just got home. Like, I just got off of work. Except you see what I'm doing? I'm cleaning up the family room. I'm cooking dinner. I'm letting the dog out. I'm like getting the trash ready because it's trash day. Like, I mean, I get it. You think I don't want to sit on the couch and fucking drink a glass of wine and fucking watch Murders in the Building? You're fucking damn right I do. Like,
it's so good this season.
So fucking good, man.
Oh, shit. I lost interest and I fucking love Steve Martin.
Oh, dude, you can't lose interest in this. It's like this. Listen, I want to do all those things, but I don't because I'm not fucking done with the shit I got to do yet.
Right. And there's stuff that is expected of us and we have to do those. And then once we get those done, then we can watch Murders in the Building.
Correct.
Oh,
right.
God, this is just fucking, this
but
is
here's
sad.
My question though. Like, okay, so the argument that I keep hearing against that, and I'm curious where this stands on the validity scale, but a lot of people are like, well, pick your battles, right? Do you really care if it's like today, if they don't want to eat? My biggest trigger in here is food, right? Like my kids want to eat like 7-year-old assholes and I don't want them to eat like 7-year-old assholes, right? Chicken nuggets is not a food group, like I don't, and vegetables are, and you need to put it in your fucking meal, like, period.
Right.
But like, I'll go in and I'll make dinner for the week. So Sunday, Monday, there's the most stuff. And like, you see my kids, they're like, oh, I'll take the pasta with
I'll take
something.
the tater tots from Thursday night's meal.
Right, and like, meanwhile, there's like snap peas, green beans, and broccoli that are fucking full,
rotting in the back of the fridge.
And I'm like, and meanwhile, I look over, my son's now gone and made ramen. I'm like, and not like the good, like foofy ramen. No, like the brick of dried, like that we ate in college when we were hungover. Like,
that's got so much MSG in it. It tastes so fucking good.
I get it. Listen, I get it. But like, my wife will say, like, do we really, like, let's pick battles like academics or this. Do we really care about this? And I'm like, I care about all of it. I'm not picking and choosing. It's not just about academics or sports about human connection or about food or about it's all of it, because humans have a lot of shit we have to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think what happens is, and I love this phrase, I heard it. Where did I hear it? It was a book, something about discomfort. And then I heard it by Layla Hormozi, and she was talking about like both of the book and Layla were talking about like what you tolerate becomes the expectation.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you tolerate them not eating the snap peas, well, then that now becomes the expectation that they don't have to eat the snap peas.
Sure. And I think there's no truer words in my particular case. Like that's exactly what happens, because you know, people we've had on the show who we talked about this before we hit record, that were like, we got into weird conversations. They didn't start out like that. They started out with a little niggle.
Little. I'm gonna test this, and
and like pretty soon you're into a full blown conspiracy theory conversation. You're like, but that's like, how did this happen? You're like, oh, well, it happened because they tested the waters. You know,
and you didn't push back. If you didn't push back, well, then it's like all of a sudden the earth is flat.
We probably were.
By the way, if you know of a nice flat earther, we are desperately looking for one. I want to interview one so badly. Tom says
we've been searching the whole globe. God damn it.
Yeah. No, but like, if you do know a flat earther, we would like to talk to you. Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah.
I don't think I know a flat earther. I really don't want to, but Matt, I'll do it for Matt.
I just like having fun with Tom, because I know Tom's going to be
Can I be like a third party in the back just watching?
Co-host
Andrea. Just make sure you have some of my blood pressure medication nearby, because we're all going to need it.
Yeah.
I'll just come to Baltimore for that recording and just sit in the back for Tom and be like, okay, you should probably take some deep breaths.
I'm your on-call shrink.
I've had a meditation practice, and we're almost at 7 years without missing a day ever.
Yeah.
It's doing a lot of good.
It's keeping me in body at this point. That's about what we can expect from it. Because every day it's like, the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Like, I don't even have words. Like, we're in the car. It's a fucking 5-minute drive to my kid's school, and I'm like, 17 stupid shits got in front of me.
Yeah,
and I'm not even driving. It's my wife, and I'm going like, just like, I can't even. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I love people.
And you know what's got to be fun, and I'm follow on question of curiosity is like, that's fine in my house or Tom's house, right? Like I've got the snap peas and Tom's got driving and whatever. We've got these little things, but they're highly localized to my house, right? Like when you look at it from a macro perspective, like an employer, now you're dealing with the aggregate sum of everybody's idiosyncrasies. Like now all of those expectations get bubbled up. So now you're like, fuck.
Yeah. And they don't know, like the Gen Xers and the boomers and the millennials have no idea what to do with Gen Z employees right now.
So talk to me about that a little bit. Like what is the manifestation of that? Like, why is that?
And why shouldn't we hire them?
Yeah. Justify why I'm not hiring.
Justify why I hate them. They're not listening anyway. I can give you our demos after the show.
Yeah.
So I think what's going on is like, so it's gentle parenting, right? So it starts off with the gentle parenting. So we're going to focus on our feelings and our mental health, which I'm a psychologist. Like mental health is important, but we shouldn't be like talking about it nonstop all of the time.
Right.
And then we're not going to use rewards and we're not going to use punishments, and we're going to treat them as a partnership. And then all of a sudden they go to school. And now schools are focusing in on what I call trauma-informed practices. So like if Johnny doesn't, gets angry at math because Johnny doesn't like math, well, then Johnny can like leave the classroom for an extended period of time until like Johnny feels better, and then he can come back into math class, or just not come back into math class, and that's okay too. And then all of a sudden they're going to college and it's doing the same thing. And then all of a sudden they get into the workplace and this is the environments that they've been raised in, and all of a sudden now it's like, oh, you just gave me feedback now I need to take a mental health day the next day because like you gave me feedback.
Right.
And oh, by the way, like I should be like, no, you should give me feedback. Like you should give me praise and tell me I did a great job, even though my work was shit.
Right.
Because we don't rewards and punishments aren't a thing. Like, but I want praise. And then the other thing is like, I should be a boss tomorrow because like I'm on the same level as you, right?
Right. My wife actually had this problem.
Oh my God. I had this problem.
This woman was in her early 20s, I think it was, maybe as old as mid 20s, but like this was her first job out of college. Like it was, you know, and she was like aggressively hostile because she wasn't getting a promotion that was coming. But by the way, the person who got it had like 15 years tenure in the industry or whatever. And she just did not understand it to the point where she quit. She's like, fuck you. You guys are obviously crazy. And they're like, well, what are we going to do about this? And my wife's like, let the bitch quit. That's what we're going to do about it. Like, fuck her. Like,
we don't even have to pay unemployment. Fuck her.
Like, fuck her. You know, and it's like, and you know, a lot of that is sarcasm, obviously, but like, I mean, philosophically, it's like, what do you mean? What are we going to do? We're not going to do anything.
Oh
like,
my God.
Human behavior sorts itself out. And this is the way it happens.
Oh my God. We had something, we brought someone in and, front desk position and my staff is great. We try to make everything as dumb as fucking possible so we don't have to think about that and concentrate on the person in front of us, right? We're supposed to be friendly, outgoing, and take care of. And this person that we hired was good at that. You know, she was a little timid, and then their partner came to pick them up and they were making out in the lobby. Like, and I mean, that's where the patients sit. Now there were none there at the time. And my office manager goes, well, you know, look, they don't seem to be getting this. They don't seem to be getting this. And then this was really fucking weird. And I go, okay, write all three of those things down, put it into an email, tell her she's fired. She responded. She's like, why didn't you tell me that it wasn't cool for me to make out with my partner in the lobby? And I said, I thought that was a preloaded piece of information.
There's certain things that I don't have to tell people.
I'm not their fucking parent, is I think what I said. And if you, and I told my office manager, you can say we're not your fucking parents. Like, I don't need to like look at your shit and go, oh my God, you did it in the body.
Hold on. I'm looking up something real quick.
Uh-oh. Am I getting sued?
No, you won't get. You're not getting sued, but you're guys are going to freak out about this. So, in a recent study, 38% of Gen Z employees said that they would like rooms dedicated to like be able to have sex in at the workplace.
Yeah, me too. But
I mean, that sounds awesome. But like,
well,
what?
You know, I mean, with the housing market the way it is, it kind of makes sense.
But you know what though, that this feels like erosion control, right? Like it's like we just let so much erode that like now, like we don't have enough impulse control to not fuck at work. Like, is that like a thing now?
To tell you the truth, I think we've never had enough impulse control to not fuck at work.
I know, but you do it in the copy room like every other civilized
you know what I'm saying?
You don't fucking have a room for it, right?
Put a chair under the door of the
like
janitor's closet.
Right? You know, like where there's like a biological, you know, like a
there's an actual reason to do it. Yeah,
you know, right. And like, I love people that fought against that. How dare you put breastfeeding areas at work? I'm like, just because we're kind? I don't know. Like, is there a better fucking answer to this? We're just
you guys want to populate the earth, right? Yeah, I mean, that seems to be your fucking thing.
But like, that is outrageous. And I'm like, but like, what does that tell you as a psychologist? Like, if you're asking for that, the 38% of the people that genuinely think that's a realistic request, like, what do we say to those people? You know,
well,
like,
I think that, I mean, because their main thing was like they want life work balance, and they think that they're working too much.
Yeah, right. You know what I mean?
Well,
That's
no,
not
no.
balance.
Hand to God, I'll agree with them on working too much, but like, that's they're aiming at the wrong. Yeah, you know, they're not aiming at the head of the problem. They're kind of
right. I mean, they're getting head though. That's kind of cool.
well,
right, I guess. Like, I mean,
not if they don't have a dedicated room.
Not if they don't have a dedicated
and they're going to
room.
want somebody else to change the sheets.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, they're not
you got to
changing
have a
the
sex room sheet person. Yeah. I mean, yeah, like, and HR, you can't even like, the
could you
list of
imagine
things
HR?
you can't do at work that because it could be possibly construed as sexual is like jaw dropping. Like, and how on earth could you ever get away with a sex room? Like that would be completely out of bounds, right? Like,
I don't even.
I think it's an interesting testament though, because maybe I'm wrong then. My premise was always like, this will course correct when they get into the workplace because the workplace won't allow for this nonsense.
Well, I think they're struggling. The workplace is struggling because like they need employees to do the work.
Because all the boomers are dying.
All the boomers are dying.
Fuck
And
those
so
guys too.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, so now it's like what the workplace needs to be doing is they need to be learning, okay, this is what's going on, this is what's happening. How can we bring them in and start training them in a way that's where they're actually going to be workable employees, like productive, effective employees.
We can get into all the systems of an education system that is built for an industrial age and not for the modern age, and that it was just to get you smart enough to make all the George Carlin references there. But within that, like, shouldn't school kind of do that? Isn't that what school was for, to teach you the skill sets to go get the fucking jobs?
Well, I ask this question all of the time. And the question is like, whose responsibility is it to teach our youth life skills? My argument is always, depending on what the life skills are, it's the family's responsibility. It's the parents' responsibility to be teaching their children life skills, financial literacy, being a good person, volunteering, being independent, those kind of things. What I want school to be responsible for is teaching them how to do all the things that I don't know how to do. Like, teaching a first grader how to read. Like, I don't know how to teach a first grader how to read.
That sounds horrible. That sounds horrible.
To do that. And like, I want them to do like calculus and all of the things that I don't know how to do. I want schools to be responsible for that. And I will take care of all of the social emotional learning, because teachers don't have to do that because they're not trained on it. And then half the time teachers aren't that great at social emotional learning to begin with. So that by then, if it's like, okay, parents are taking care of life skills, teachers are taking care of, academic skills, then by the time they get to the workforce, they should be able to do all of the things that the workplace needs them to do.
So what I'm hearing is it's fallen apart both at home and in school, right?
Yes.
This isn't one or the other. This is a failure of all of it.
Correct.
But if I'm also reading a little bit deeper, the school's following suit from the parents. So this feels like Genesis at the parental level.
Yeah, it almost feels like, oh God, the parents are going to get upset and complain if we discipline the kid.
Yeah. The teachers are in awful positions right now because they're getting just like sandwiched, because like the administration is like, hey, you're pissing off parents, don't do that. And then the parents are coming in and they're like, oh, my kid would never do that. And then the teachers are like getting bit and hit and like violence and aggression against them. And they're just like, we're just trying to do our job. So now they're leaving in high percentages.
Right. And then the collegiate level, I used to teach in college as well. And I still have a couple teacher friends, and they're like, dude, you can't give a student a B anymore. Like
that fucking sucks.
Without knowing you're going to get a fucking litany of emails and fucking like, I demand a fucking audience with you and all this other shit. They're like, it's like, your student was here twice. Your kid was here twice.
All right, God. I used to give the this is not kindergarten. This is not grade school. This is not high school. This is not college. This is grad school.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
You are going to be taking care of other people.
Right.
There is a bare minimum that you have to, and still people be like, what do you mean? Why didn't you pass me? I give you a quiz every other week. You didn't pass one of those.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I had one kid come up to me once. He goes, if you fail me, I can't graduate and I can't afford to come back. So you fuck me. And I was like, well,
you fucked yourself.
We had 27 classes or something, and you came to 4 of them. So I feel like you kind of you were the author of your own story.
Right.
What do you want me to do? And then the dean came in and she was like, well, is there any way you could pass him? I'm like, I've given you the facts. You tell me.
You got a time machine?
Yeah. I was like, she's like, well, he couldn't have been that absent. I'm like, yeah. He was. Well, why didn't you say something to the dean? I'm like, because I'm not his fucking parent. I'm not following all these kids around, cleaning up after them. Get your own shit together. I got my own problems.
And this is why we all left academia.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that was the thing. So the 9 years that I was a college professor, so I did a really good job of the authoritative classroom, high expectations, high, warm and fuzzies, build relationships with students, to the fact that I think it was in my last year as a faculty member, there was the first time that I had a formal complaint filed against me. And it was because I told the student hey, these are the expectations. It was a psych major. I'm like, these are the expectations that I have of you. You need to, you're not going to come to class, but you're going to do it virtually. Got it. It's a discussion-based class. You need to talk at least one time in the 75-minute class. That's the expectation. She didn't talk. And then I was like, okay, well, you got a 0 for that day because you did not participate. And then she did it over and over again. So then the mom got the dean involved. So now it's the daughter, the mom, and the dean, and me all in a phone call. And I'm like, look, I told your daughter she had to talk one time. And the mom was like, but she talked about this class all of the time to me. And I was like, well, then all she had to say was one thing. And then she would have been good in class.
Yeah.
And she didn't. And she was like, oh, she did it? I'm like, no, that's what.
But thank you for wasting all of our time collectively.
Exactly.
This meeting
well, what did she say to
$4,000.
you? Maybe I could give her some credit.
Yeah. Exactly.
What do you know about this class? Let's see if I can give you a grade.
That is funny. So what made you zero in on this? I'm curious, because I agree with Tom. You look a little less Gen Z to me than not, right? So what got you down this path? It's an interesting vocation.
So I wrote what got into the psychology, or what got into the Gen Z attack.
Guess dealer's choice, right? Tell me. Did
you really just want to own them?
Yeah.
That's what they call it, right? You kids call it owning people?
Yeah.
I
have no idea.
So I wrote so how the Gen Z stuff came about was I wrote the book, the #2 parenting book, Practical Tips for the Pooped Out Parent. And that was published in December of 2023. And so in early 2024, I was part of a mastermind, and the main coach was like, okay, we want to get the word out on your book. What's something parents are doing wrong right now that you can take a strong stance on? And immediately I was like, gentle parenting doesn't work. And he's like, go with it.
Yeah.
And
boom,
so then
floodgate
I
opened.
went with it. And then it was like, okay, how gentle parenting and trauma-informed practices are kind of setting our youth up to fail in the workplace. And then we started doing more research on Gen Zs in the workplace. And I think, Tom, you'll love this stat. There was a research study that looked at 1,000 managers of Gen Z, and 10% of the managers said that in the last year they had heard from their employees' parents because the manager gave the employee feedback. So then their parent called the manager to complain.
I want to punch that parent in the face so hard,
so badly.
Yeah.
So I gotta be honest, I've been waiting for the hammer to drop on my 15-year-old. I'm like, what do you mean? No, and then you talk to the teacher and they're like, yeah, this kind of happens, and I'm like, no,
No, does not happen.
You
No.
fucking fail her.
Yeah, like I demanded.
They're like, you want to see your kid fail? I'm like, I want my kid to be a functional adult.
Yeah, right.
Mhm.
That's so. Yeah, we had a situation. My wife had one a couple years back where the person came in and my wife was like, yeah, I think we can proceed with an offer letter. Later on that afternoon, the parent called and said, I'd like to talk to you about my son's employment. And she's like, I don't understand. Oh, I'm going to negotiate the terms. And she goes, no, you're not. And he was like confused. Like, what do you mean? And she's like, I think this conversation's over. And he's like, well, what? She's like, if your son can't talk to me, then he's not working here, period.
Yeah.
And like later on, the son was like,
that's how you do that. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I was sitting there kind of like deconstructing that in my head. I was like, from all sides of that equation, right? Like, and again, I am a decidedly Gen Xer, so you can't like, I can't hide from that, right? But the thought of me having any adult interaction when I was in that sort of cusping kind of area, like 17, 18, like, the idea, even when I was a teenager, I was mowing lawns and washing people's cars. Like I was interacting with adults one-on-one. The idea of having my parents anywhere near me was abhorrent. I would have like rather shivved myself than have my parents involved in that conversation.
Well, now they're best friends. Like parents are their kids, their teenagers' best friends. And so they're going to do all the things together. And I'm like, no.
Yeah, that's probably a bad idea. Like what could go wrong? Like, I don't know. Everything could go wrong. I went to a party in my neighborhood, a Halloween party last year. And one of the parents' kids were there. And they were doing Jello shots and like, you know, and I'm like sitting there going, question, many questions, but like first big question, why is your daughter dropping Jello shots on her boobs? She is 16 years old. Like, why is that happening? And he's like, she's almost an adult. It's fine. I'm like, is it? Like, I'm not. And like the parents were both at the same party. And I'm sitting there going, what the actual fuck is happening here? Right? Like, I mean, it's one thing to be like, hey, I'm going to ignore voluntarily ignore that my kid is in the basement, probably sneaking a beer with his friends. Okay. Fine.
Right.
We can occasionally, although if I know it's happening, it's a hard pass. I'm like, fuck off, get that out of here.
Yeah.
But be sneakier, idiot.
Yeah, be sneakier, idiot. Yeah, right. Yeah. And I've told my kids that too. I said part of the rite of passage of being an adult is knowing how to be smart enough to get away with the shit that you don't want your parents to find out about. Like that's part of the equation. It's part of the process.
Right.
Respect the process.
I was having this conversation with my brand manager earlier this week because she sent me a Life 360 commercial that I actually just recorded a YouTube video about. And her and I were having this conversation. And I was like, no, like, and I think I used the term, like, it's a developmentally appropriate level of sneakiness.
Right.
And she's like, what?
Yeah, what does
She's
that
like,
mean?
what do you mean a developmentally appropriate level of sneakiness? And I was like, no, like to some extent, in order to be successful, you have to figure out what are the expectations, how far can you push that boundary, and then go and be successful.
Right.
And not get caught if you are going to be sneaky.
Right. Yeah. But certainly I've never heard that phrased before like that before, but that is actually a fairly savvy way to like notice it, because you're like, oh, it's one thing. We just found out that Trump buries relatives on his property for a tax haven, because if you have relatives,
ex-wives, they're not even current relatives.
Yeah, like buried. If you have a burial plot on your land, it gets to a different tax status. And I was like, okay, so I don't think that I should hold my 14-year-old to the same sneakiness yardstick.
Yeah.
As that, right? Like we could agree that that's probably a step above, right? You know? But I've never heard anyone kind of call that out before. That's interesting.
Well, because like I used to, when I was an intern at Boys Town, which is a residential treatment facility in Omaha, Nebraska, where it has like some of the most antisocial and aggressive teenagers in the nation. And they get the choice like Boys Town or juvie. And if they're smart, they're going to choose Boys Town. But like the funny thing was, like, on campus, they weren't allowed to have romantic relationships because they were supposed to be focusing in on their treatment. But like all the interns, because there were 6 interns, we all knew that they were all having romantic relationships. And so like in therapy, that was what we talked about a lot, was like appropriate romantic relationships, even though they weren't supposed to be having romantic relationships.
Right.
And I remember I had a client, she was a female because I had all females that year, and she was like, well, so and so has a boyfriend and she never gets like caught. And I'm like, well, because she's not writing notes to her boyfriend in a notebook and then having it like passed down through all these people. She's not leaving evidence.
Yeah.
And
said another way,
she's like,
she's
not
very
stupid,
smart, and you're an idiot.
and I told them, I was like, stop writing in this notebook. You all are going to get caught. And she's like, no, we're fine. Like, we give it to this person and then this person and this person. I'm like, y'all are going to get caught.
Yeah.
And then sure enough, they got caught. And I was like, that other person's not doing that. They're not passing notes.
Yeah.
They're just like hanging out.
They have not left a trail of evidence.
Exactly.
I mean, look at the more obvious one that affects every teenager in the country. How many times do you have to tell a teenager, don't take a picture of the shit you're doing wrong? Like how many times? Hundreds of thousands, millions, trillions?
My God. The amount of stupid shit I did that no one will ever see is fucking great.
Yes.
Yeah, but they don't ever, it's like it doesn't absorb. I'm like, listen, this is the easiest thing to not get snared on. Don't take a fucking picture of it. Well,
and
then how would I put it on
media?
TikTok? Yeah.
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 Because if there's not a picture and it's not on TikTok, it didn't happen. And I'm like, oh my goodness.
That's exactly the fucking point.
Yeah, right.
Like last week, so I coached high school football team, and last week was our homecoming.
Well, I love that.
And
That's
at
a left turn I wasn't expecting.
At the end, like our head coach looked at our guys because it was Friday night and we're having a really good season. And our head coach looked at our guys and was like, don't do anything stupid. And I was like, AKA, don't have your phones out when if you all are drinking, don't have your phones out and don't be posting it on social media. Like all of you just take your phones, put it in a basket, and then go do whatever it is y'all are going to do. And then as you're leaving, grab your phones and walk out the door.
Yeah.
Like don't post anything.
Yeah. Yeah, the swingers have those baskets for a reason, right? Like
I thought those were the keys.
Yeah. Well, I think it started as keys, but somebody recently was like, "Yeah, no, you throw everything in there."
That's I think it was Diddy made everybody put their phones into one of those little
Faraday
Faraday bags,
like the CIA locker.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But
I remember my football coach used to say, if you're not in the wrong place doing the wrong thing at the wrong time, you'll be just fine.
Exactly.
Right. But that's one of those self-evident to him moments where it's like, I shouldn't have to go deeper down this rabbit hole.
Right.
And yet
we do. Yeah.
Like I need to call out specifically. And it's funny, Tom's story, I've heard that story before, but it's my kids say this to me all the time. Well, why didn't you tell me? Well, if I sat down here and listed all the shit I didn't think of, like, what do you, like, where do we end? Do I have to tell you?
Where do you figure anything out too? You know, it's like,
exactly.
But do I have to call out, don't enrich plutonium? Like, I feel like that's sort of like, we don't need to go down that.
Funny story. My dad.
I'm like, but like, I mean, I'm not going to focus on everything that I mean, I can't go down this imaginary list.
There should be some common sense somewhere along the way.
Yeah, I almost feel like my daughter did something and we got a phone call and I was at the same time, all right, I get it was wrong. I was kind of proud of her because she figured out the smartest way to do something wrong.
Right.
I was like, yeah, so you got caught, but that actually took some that actually took a little mental processing there.
Do better next time, but you're in the right place. You're going down the right road. Yeah,
you can't
Let's
do that.
Talk about how you learned. Like, go sit in your room, figure out how to do it better.
So during Watergate, they took a piece of tape.
Yeah. So how does this affect like their health? I'm curious. Like when you're told like, no, you can't fuck at work in a special room. Like, what is that doing to them? Like that level of like, I don't think so.
Well, I mean, immediately they are thinking that like you're, preventing them and like hurting their mental health. But then I think eventually, once someone kind of helps them to realize like, hey, this is actually in the best interest of your mental health and your well-being and like you as a human, I think they eventually get it, but it's going to take some mentorship. And I think that's what like the companies need to realize, is that we need to be mentoring these individuals because they didn't get it earlier on. And I know it's so frustrating, and you can be like,
I'd rather hire a fucking boomer that doesn't know how to open a Word document.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is less frustrating than just asking me for a sex room. I'm not going to lie.
I like, you know, like I would just say we don't have the budget for a sex room.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's like, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's been a crappy year.
I'd love to have a sex room.
I would love to help you out there, buddy, but there's a dumpster around the corner.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, what happened to the back seat of a car, people? There's no one has a stick shift anymore. That's not in the way. Come on, get creative. What's wrong?
Go in the back seat. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, these cars are huge now. Everything SUV's got more room than I ever had. I mean, the first car I had was like a Volkswagen Bug. I'm like, try doing anything in that. Like, nope, not happening.
Well, I think that was that a Mallrats reference there? I almost heard he likes having sex in an uncomfortable place, and the running joke was like in the back of a Volkswagen.
Yeah. Yeah, I just remember there's like this stick shift, and I'm like, oh, this is cool. We can make out. And I'm like, yeah, not in this car.
No.
Somebody else's car, maybe, but not this one. Yeah,
exactly.
So, but I mean, like, so do you see this getting better? Like, I mean, do you see like, I mean, I guess, do we strike a balance? I guess do we just like live in this ridiculous?
What about this Gen Alpha bullshit?
Yeah.
I think
are they the digital natives?
I think what's going on now is
I think the Gen Z is digital native too.
I think with the Wall Street Journal article coming out and like talking about gentle parenting versus FAFO parenting, and then I was on CNN talking about gentle parenting, and then I was just on Tamron Hall talking about gentle parenting.
Oh wow!
I think there is this movement.
Making the loop.
Wow, we're actually going to get somebody listening to this then.
Yeah. You're making the rounds on this, so it's hitting a mainstream sort of swell now.
Because you have like people like bigger psychologists, way bigger than me, like Dr. Becky Kennedy talking about gentle parenting now, and you have like Gary Vee talking about gentle parenting and how it doesn't work. And so you have all of these kind of bigger names and like these big outlets having these conversations. So I'm hopeful that maybe we can go back from like the gentle parenting and we can kind of go back to this authoritative parenting, so that there's hope for Gen Alpha.
But like, because I was going to say now it's too late. All these kids are like either in college or out of college. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like, we can't save them. Like, it's
because they're like 14. These kids are like, the Gen Zs are like 13 to like 27.
Yeah. So
there.
Like, yeah. And then, my daughter's always, she's 14 and she's like, I think I'm alpha, but I might be Z. Like, she's all confused, which is,
well, we're Zennials technically, and the Gen X part of me hates that fucking term.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, it was stupid enough to give us a fucking generational name.
Yeah.
Now you got to make it even dumber.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think 76. I'm 76, and I think that's like kind of like still enough like solid X territory. My wife's 78, and it's like kind of like.
Oh yeah, my wife definitely feels
you
more
go either way on
zennial.
this one, you know, like you know, are you a really old millennial or are you? Like, and my wife's answer is, you call me a millennial, and I will stab you in the face. I'm just kidding.
Like,
so that's a Gen X trait.
So like I am like
you're in there.
Millennial.
Yeah.
So you're the opposite end of that spectrum. Like, could you be like a really young X, or could you be a really old millennial? I don't know.
So at what point did your mom jokes come out of style? Was that
they're coming back into style?
That's because we're like, I literally say that to my kids, and they're like, "That's your wife," and I'm like, "Yeah, fuck her too."
Yeah, right, yeah. But your wife gets that joke. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's like,
she definitely does. Because she's even said it. She's like, "Yeah, your fucking mom." Like,
right.
Like, that was a good one, hon. That was a good one.
Well, I had a friend, and she was telling me how her son, who was in first grade last year, I think he's in second grade now, like the first graders were telling like mom jokes.
I love it.
And I was like,
it's about time.
Graders are telling mom jokes?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, it's circling back.
It's circling back. Everything, there's nothing new under the sun.
It's like when you see a kindergartner with a Nirvana shirt on, and you're like,
in kindergartner size, nonetheless.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
really?
yeah. And I'm like, I don't know if I love that or that's the dumbest thing. We did see that once, and we're older parents in this area, so it happened when my daughter was younger, and I go, hun, is that the 23-year-old mom that put her kid in the Nirvana shirt? And I go, I'm going to go ask her if his favorite song is Rape Me or the other one about heroin. And she goes, dude, don't fucking go over there.
Don't you
and I'm like, I will. I will. And she's like, I know you will.
I know you will.
And it'll be funny to you.
Yeah. My
but
mom
it will
flew
not.
across
She probably
country.
won't even. The mom probably wouldn't even know what those songs are.
She'd have no idea what that is. Yeah, she
Yeah.
just knows the naked baby in the pool swimming by. That's all she knows, right?
Well, that asshole's
She just put her kindergarten in it.
Alpha, Gen Alpha or something like that. He's sued.
No.
Did he really?
He sued. Yeah, he sued. He was like, that was indecent exposure. And they took advantage of me. And it's like, you're fucking 30 now, bro.
Yeah, like
mom was cool with it. Your mom was cool with it.
Yeah, and you're the kid on the cover of the most iconic album cover, like maybe in the entire decade, right? Like,
absolutely.
Like, stop it. I'd be like, actually, the woman who was on
the AI
the cover of the
summary
Godsmack
of this
album
is going to get weird.
Yeah, it is. do you remember the band Godsmack? There was this woman on there with like tattoos on her face. And, like,
I remember that one. Yeah.
It was a beautiful picture. She was like, yeah, we were basically smoking weed in some guy's apartment and he was just snapping pictures. It was like this casual thing. And I was like, but you're on this iconic album cover. And she was like our age. So she's like, dude, I'm on an iconic album cover. So I'm totally fucking cool with that.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
exactly.
Right. So like, I guess, do we see this going the other way again, though? Like, do we rubber band back? Like, does it go Gestapo parenting next? Like,
I almost feel like some of those younger kids are starting to go, trad wife and fucking ultra conservative little boys.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm hopeful that we're going to stop in this beautiful middle, but like as you guys said earlier, like we tend not to live in that messy middle. But like I'm hopeful that we're gonna stop. We're going to stop there. But I think, like, I mean, with the FAFO parenting trend that's coming, that is already
what is
out.
that?
Fuck around, find out.
Find out.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Okay.
So, like,
I was like, that can't be what that means in parenting context, is it? Yes.
It's mostly like using natural consequences, but then now people are taking it a little bit more aggressive and hostile. So I think it is kind of leaving that middle and going a little bit up towards militant parenting. So we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Why can't we just be chill and just be like, hey, don't do that because it's dumb and leave it at that. Like,
I've tried that, but there's still like this natural inclination for them to push. And then you're like, I can't hit you, but I'm going to throw your fucking cell phone through the wall. Yeah. And then that's why we have 5 therapists for a family of 4.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Nope.
What I should have been is a therapist, man. These people are employed like over.
Oh man, they're I'm treating them in my clinic, and it's like I don't understand how you listen to all this bullshit all day.
Yeah, it's a lot.
I do not understand.
I know a couple
how you haven't gone home one day and just like, yeah, that was it. That was the most horrible thing I've ever heard about humanity.
Yeah,
I'm done.
I'm out. Yeah.
Punch
I like
out
where you're at though. You get to kind of think about these problems at a more macro level, and I think that's got to be pretty cool for you. To be able to look at it widely and kind of.
Yeah, because I think like one of the things that advantages is because I deal with it on a daily basis with my clients, and then it's like, okay, I get to take what I'm seeing, and then it's like, okay, let's start having conversations about it. Let's post on LinkedIn. Let's write a book about it. Let's go and have, deliver talks on it. So to kind of get the word out there, because I remember I have a friend who's also a speaker, and until she's heard me start talking about Gen Z, she's like, I had no idea it was this bad. And I was like, it's pretty bad out there.
Do you normally in your sessions, are you working with the parents? Are you working with Gen Z age people?
Both. So I will when I do individual therapy, I'm usually 30 years and younger. Okay. And then I do parenting, like coaching, and then family therapy, and then like couples therapy.
Okay.
Do you ever get the parents calling you after a session with their kid being like, what the fuck?
My
did you
kid
just tell me?"
came home.
Like, my kid came home.
Your kid is 25.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but I really wish I had this one Gen Zer right now. And like for the last 2 or 3 sessions, I'm like, I really wish I could call your mom.
Yeah.
Like, I really wish you could call your mom because I know you won't tell her what's going on, but like, she's going to want to know.
Yeah. This is
Because
important
like, I
information.
can't be the only person, but it's not like suicide. It's not like that.
So, you don't have any need to report.
Correct. Yeah. So there's no need to report, but I'm like, oh, she's going to want to know.
Yeah.
But I can't tell her.
Yeah.
And I mean, in that case, I'm assuming you're just encouraging this client to actually, hey, look, this is a conversation you need to have. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Like every day, like I'm like, please do this. Please go to college. Like, please go to your college classes. Please just go to your college classes and show up. Like, don't just go to campus. Like, actually go to the courses.
Yeah.
Please. And he's like, no.
Oh, college would have been so much cooler if I just went to the campus.
I know. Sadly, though, when you said that, instantly I was like, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Like, I can see how they would be easily distracted between the difference between showing up on the physical property.
So my next question is, does mom drop this client off?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Then why even get in the car, man?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you're getting there yourself, why even go to the campus?
That's the thing. Like I asked him, I was like, wait, because like when he told me that he was skipping 2 of his 4, like he hasn't been to 2 of his 4 classes in the last 3 weeks, I was like, okay, he's just not going to campus. And he's like, and then this week he told me, he's like, well, I actually drive to, I'm like, what do you, because I asked him, I'm like, what do you do with your time then?
Well, there's this sex room there. And
the science department has a sex room on the 4th floor.
Because he lives with his parents.
Of course
and
he
he's
does.
like, well, I drive to campus and I hang out on campus. I just don't go to my 2 classes. I'll go to like the 1 class and I'll sometimes go to the other class, but like these other 2 classes, like I just don't go to them. And I'm like,
yeah, what the fuck?
But
yeah, that's maddening. And as a guy, I mean, look, I'm an entrepreneur for 30 years, right? And so like, you can't extract this personality.
The first conversation this morning pissed the shit out of me.
Yeah.
This one is just Matt and I do these shows on longevity, and he's like, do you understand we can live to like 200? And I'm like, why the fuck would I want another 150 years of this?
Yeah.
This is the dumbest fucking timeline.
Yeah.
I was promised flying cars and fucking Jetson like technology.
Yeah.
we have Jetson technology. You're FaceTime.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
We've got some Jetson technology, right?
Yeah, and we're using it to like fucking send nudes to each other. Like, I mean, come on, like, and that's the other thing. I mean, my big thing is also like how, like, males are fucking just fucked up. Specifically males, and it's not it, and I don't get it because like especially white males, we've had everything handed to us, and like the littlest inconveniences, we fucking go and shoot up a fucking school. Yep. And then we're like, what? We're demonized, and I'm like, is it fucking anyway? That's aside. I just can't.
Well, no, I mean that's one of the things that I'm seeing. Like I'm seeing with my males in my therapy office, I'm seeing much more like nihilistic thinking.
Oh, interesting.
Like why would I like wake up, eat breakfast, go to work, come home, eat dinner, watch TV, go to sleep, and do it all over again? Like, what's the purpose?
Well,
but that's very different than I think having this general I deserve everything, and if I don't get it, I'm going to take it by any means, or if I don't get it, I'm going to lash out violently. Anyway, this is we'll have you back.
Thinking.
Yeah, nihilistic thinking, I think, is probably the most dangerous form of thinking that's out there, because then you're like,
is it even thinking though?
Well,
I mean, they're having like, I remember like I've had like at least probably 6 to 8 males with this nihilistic thinking, and they're super philosophical and like existential. And I'm like, okay, but like,
Yeah, but but then what? Right?
So,
like,
I am a dudist priest in the Church of the Dude, and
that's hilarious.
there was a whole thing about nihilists in there.
Yeah,
and they
probably made nihilism popular.
They might have reinvented nihilism for a lot of people.
Yeah, I think most people didn't even know what it was prior to
Is that where you cut off the toes? No.
It's funny, and we almost made an entire show without saying AI, but I'm going to go and ruin it. But like, I almost
we're at
feel
the
like
buzzer.
I almost feel like
I did get a longevity in it, about 59 minutes too. Yeah.
The AI thing, I think, is coming along at a anthropologically appropriate moment, right? Like if you have nihilists that are being bred because like they're gentle parented within an inch of their life. Well, if you've got AI doing all the shit you don't want to do anyway,
that's your next book.
Like who cares? Like, be a nihilist all day. But like, are you a little happier nihilist if you know that you got an AI doing all the shit that you're bitching about anyway? Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, it's kind of like one of those, like, okay, well, AI probably wouldn't have been as well received in the middle, the zenith of the Industrial Revolution,
right?
Where everyone was like, fucking no, I got to work 15 hours a day to feel like a man.
If I don't pull this lever 60 times an hour.
Yeah. But now it's like, I don't, I'm more concerned about if they're going to put in the sex room that I've been bitching about than I am about like doing hard work or appropriate work or important work.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like and I think that's the part where I'm like, as again, where I was going with that entrepreneur thing. Is,
the more I hear about this sex room.
Yeah. The idea that everybody doesn't think of work.
The upstairs office isn't used that much.
Yeah, not a lot of therapists up there. We could make
you
a
want
shift.
all of your therapists to lose their license.
Yeah, right, exactly.
Well,
right?
I'm not saying they're sleeping with patients. I'm saying
just in general. I mean, look, your
couples
reception
therapy,
person.
like go up and have some sex.
Yeah, your reception woman at least would have had a better understanding of where the appropriate place to make
I'm just saying, if we had a sign of saying, like, please keep all nastiness in this room.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
and then
happy,
you could put a
happy
bag of needles
workplace,
on
better workers, right?
Yeah, I don't know. But I guess that's, just as a summarizing thought here, I think where I'm always curious, I thought the levelizer would be, you're at work, the shit is not okay. And I think the great leveler is actually being a parent yourself, right? Like once you actually procreate, like, do you have time to think about sex rooms anymore? Or are you just too busy? Like, okay, my kid didn't sleep last night. I've got a proposal due. I need to pay my rent. Like, I mean, shit piles up in a way that makes it more important. But maybe it doesn't. I don't know.
Like, I think you have a good point there where it's like, okay, yeah, Gen Zs are thinking about sex rooms, but as they become parents and those kind of things, they're probably going to start being far more anxious about.
Well, how are they going to get to be parents if they don't have a sex room?
Yeah, I mean, that's true. I mean, cars are off limits. There's no sex rooms.
Well, no one can afford an apartment.
Yeah. And I'm living at my parents' house because I can't afford anything else.
So they need a sex there. They need a sex room. They
definitely need one. They're like, this isn't gratuitous. This is real. My parents are crazy. They won't leave me alone. So
right, because they have like 360 on all of their phones.
Oh, I know. My son did say that to me, and I actually felt bad for a moment, just for a moment, not too long. I let it pass pretty quickly, but he's like, when you were at my age, nobody knew where you were. There was no camera phones. Like, he didn't just go into the 360 thing. He went down the rabbit hole. He's like, and my mom flew across the country with a box of my shit that she brought from California. And in it was every rock t-shirt I ever had, including like original. They were all original. Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, Lollapalooza 96, you name it. I had it in there. My son literally took the entire box and said, thank you, and turned around and walked out of the room. I'm like, whoa, hold on. Where are you going with that?
Those are $500 t-shirts there, buddy.
He said that. He goes, I looked this up on YouTube or on eBay. And I can get $500 for this Lollapalooza shirt. I was like, or
that's my shirt.
You could find yourself living in the driveway in a tent because
I will show you how Gen X I am.
Yeah, no. And
you
so
ever had a
we've-
swirly by your own father?
Yeah, fuck around and find out, dude. I swear to God, you list that
Fuck
shit
around
on.
with my shirt
Yeah.
and find out what happens.
And my wife's like, "Do you care about a 30-year-old shirt?" I was like, "I will
Yes.
literally throw him bodily into the
I
fucking
have
driveway."
never had that shirt against my skin.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That shirt is in an album sealed.
Yeah.
And then my son's like, "You're not gonna wear it." I'm like, "Give it to me right now. I'll put it on right now." I'm like a pork sausage in this thing. It's like fucking. So I was at least 50 pounds lighter when I wore this thing.
I was a medium then.
It's just like, but it was interesting to me because it was the first time in his entire life where I got a glimpse into like what the root problem was. It wasn't that he was bitching about my phone issues.
Mhm.
It was that like he saw a time where this didn't exist. Like it
Right.
wasn't like, we're always bitching about free range parenting when we were a kid. We
Mhm.
left and we came home when the lights came on.
Yeah.
Like we've all heard
Mhm.
that story a million
Yeah.
times. First of all, I don't know how true that ended up being on a day-to-day basis, but I get where they were going with it. But like that doesn't happen anymore.
No.
No.
Not even a version of that story.
Correct. The new research just came out was showing like percentages of kids who have like gone and like rode their bikes without their parents like looking at them, and it's like a really, really low percentage. Or like the number of kids who have gone to like their neighbor's house without like their parents being there. And I was like, I love our neighbors. Our neighbors were like, "Hey, can your 3 kids come over to our house? We'll bake them cookies and we'll watch movies."
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, by all means,
all
go
of that
on
shit
over.
is fine by me, man. Yeah, for sure.
Take them.
I was on a walk this morning. Literally, I had no idea we were going to have this conversation, but like literally this morning, 2 people walking, like kind of like I was overtaking them. But so I heard like 4 minutes of their conversation, and it was her mom and 2 parents. They were probably in their early to mid 30s. And they're like, we went to go look at a school, and they said that there was unsupervised recess, and we really don't know how to reconcile this. And I'm like sitting there going, I can't say anything to these people, but I'm like, how is that even on your list of shit to think about?
Right.
Like unsupervised recess. Is there a version that it is supervised? I was unaware of it if there was.
No, like it's all supervised now. There's always like a supervised, like a recess monitor.
I mean, like on
how do we
top
feel
of them,
about that? I don't know. That feels a little awkward, right? Like,
I mean, it feels awkward because then we're also not allowing kids to figure out their own shit and like deal with and figure out like peer behaviors. And obviously, like if it gets to a certain extent, like they need to like elevate it to an adult to help them out. But like at some point, like we have to let them figure out their little conflicts. Like I have an 8-year-old son, and he's playing football, like tackle football this year. And he liked the idea of tackling until he realized like he had to like tackle somebody. But
or worse, somebody bigger than him is going to tackle him.
Mike Tyson said everybody's got a plan until you punch him in the face.
Yeah.
Exactly. And there's these twins that are like 6 months older than my son, and they used to be our neighbors, and then we moved. And like the one is just a little asshole, and like we'll look at my son and be like, "You're useless, you're useless, you're useless," and like we'll like shove him down. And like the one day he like headbutted my son, and like my son will just come and tell me, and like Mama Bear comes out and is like, "I just want to text their mom and be like, hey, do you know your kids are doing this?" But I'm like, no, we're gonna let him figure it out.
Just let it happen.
Like, we're gonna let him figure it out. And I'm like, look, put him on his ass.
Yeah.
And he's like, what? And I'm like, put him on his ass. And I'm like, dude,
that'll
do
be the
that,
end of
and then
that
he
story,
won't.
right?
Exactly. Because it happened like a few weeks ago. We were at my youngest daughter's soccer game, and it was like 5 and 6 year olds. And there was this little girl, and she's going around and she's like pushing all like the people, like inappropriately pushing. Like there's pushing in like little kid soccer, but like inappropriately pushing. She's grabbing grass and like throwing it in people's faces.
Yeah, no.
And she's like twisting people's arms until she did it to my youngest. And my youngest like pushed her. And then my youngest looked at her because I saw the whole thing, and I looked at her and I went like this. And that's our sign, like mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Yeah, totally.
And so my daughter was like, okay. And so the girl did it again. And my daughter just like pulls back and goes, bam, and like puts the girl on her ass. And the girl tries one more time and again gets put on her ass. And the girl's like, okay, I'm good now.
I'm
not
done
gonna
with
go
this.
mess with
Yeah.
somebody else.
My daughter is like the smallest in all of her cohorts, right? But she's got an older brother. who fucks with her
exactly.
relentlessly.
Yeah.
And she's on soccer, and all these parents like look at us sideways when I'm like, fucking take her out. Because like there's girls on her team that are like just noodling with her. And now my daughter's like, no, fuck all that. She's a freshman in high school now. So she's like, we see her at her first game. She's got the shoulder out. She's like, boom. And I'm like, yes. Like, I just like, not because I condone the violence part, but I'm like, stand your ground, man. Like this is like, and it's also part of the rule construct of the game.
Yes.
Right. Like, so this is actually lessons on multiple levels, right? Like, you're like, how do you maximize success potential inside of a construct? This is how you do it. Soccer tells you, put your hands behind your back, use your shoulders. Great. That's all I needed to know. Like,
exactly. Like figure out what are the expectations. Like we're talking about sneakiness, like figure out the expectations. What boundaries are you allowed to push, and then push that line, and then
push them. Yeah. 100%.
Yeah.
Andrea, I could talk to you all day.
Yeah.
But let's get to the part where we tell people where to find you and what do you got going on right now?
So you can find me on Andrea D Mata. So Andrea D and then Mata Mata. You can buy my book. It's on Amazon.
Love it.
It's the number 2 parenting book. Practical tips for the pooped out parent. Here's Coop the Poop. The whole premise of the book is practical parenting times, and then a time that it takes you to poop. A mom poop, not a dad poop. Yeah. Because those are very different times.
You mean
well, hold on. You do not get to go after the sanctity of the bathroom. I am there literally trying to get my shit together. It has nothing to do with the bowel movement. It is much more cerebral. Yeah. I just need a fucking 45 minutes of not.
Yeah.
This is the thing that's going to piss Tom off. He was like,
this is where I draw the line.
Yeah. You can take away my sex room, but don't you dare.
My office only has one bathroom, and it's kind of sad because we got to keep it open for the patients. And like sometimes, you know, like you get somebody that's like, you know, their shit is really just they're so upset. Yeah. And you go in and you're like, I just need a minute, and then somebody knocks on the door, and you're like, I'm gonna go cry in the break room, I guess.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, anyway.
So what is a mom poop? Is this 5 minutes or less kind of thing? What are we talking about?
5 minutes or less. So I did research on it when I was writing the book.
That's awesome.
So you're actually supposed to be able to poop in 1 minute or less.
Wow.
Up to 5 minutes.
Oh, is that where they got the saying shit or get off the pot?
Yeah. That is aggressively, that's an aggressively low amount of time. I feel like that's marathon pooping. Like that's like, I'm like.
Is that with the squatty potty? Are you in ergonomic position and everything?
Well, I always talk about like, I'm like, hey dads, like if you're taking 45 minutes in the potty, like maybe you need a squatty potty.
Maybe you need a squatty potty.
You know, no, it is really just a fortress of solitude. It's
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that you have a character about poop too. That's just makes it even
She's
better.
like, who the fuck did I just talk to? I was on national television last week.
Haven't I gotten past the point where I'm on these kinds
I have to do these stupid ass shows.
No, I love it. You talk about poop and sex rooms and Gen Zs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Of course. There's no shortage of fodder there.
The AI transcript is going to be bonkers.
You know, we are Xers, but I'll tell you, we lean hard into the millennial or the Gen Z AI type thing, and it is funny. Tom's right. Like the AI is going to have a field day with this. It's like
it'll make these custom clips.
Yeah.
And there was, Matt, what was the one? The best goddamn corned beef sandwich in Brooklyn or something? Was like, that's what it titled the clip. And we're like, I remember talking about that.
Yeah. But you're like, we're not a culinary show. I don't know why it would have fucking picked this, but it's almost fun to watch. So people get all bent out of shape. Oh, can you believe it hallucinated? I'm like, yeah, and that's AI. Hilarious. Why are we upset about this? Like, I mean, yeah.
That's
all right. Well, listen.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was so much fun.
We'll link to all the good stuff in the show notes. And
awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a great weekend. Don't go.
All right. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Be subversive, irreverent.
Health is wealth, but you knew that.
Everybody knows that.
But so is following us on social media at Irreverent Health. And check out our website for more exclusive content at irreverenthealth.com.
Oh, I like this.
Thanks for tuning into this episode of Irreverent Health.